What is going on YouTube? It is Randy Talks Mets, and this video is going to be a Washington Nationals Mets, New York Mets recap. So overall, leave a like, comment if you enjoy the Mets content, if you enjoy baseball, and let's get the video started, guys. It was a big series for the New York Mets overall. They had a chance to really gain ground overall, and I'll definitely let you know what they did in the series. But like I said, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Keep coming back to the channel if you really enjoy Mets content. So let's get the video started, guys. Overall, Friday, June 18th versus the Mets and the Nationals. It was a game. It was not a lot of offense. Lucchesi, Joey Lucchesi has actually pitched pretty good recently. And so overall, he pitched 5.1 innings and 4 hits. First time the Mets actually allowed him to go over that span, over 5 innings. So it was a pretty big game for the New York Mets. But overall, it was a very lifeless game, very lifeless on offense. The game ended 1-0, and it was just a terrible game for the Mets. Overall, the Mets offense they just looked lifeless. They just looked dead, and it just did not look right. Yeah, everybody was pretty much striking out, popping up. It was really no life into the offense. No trying to steal bases, and if they did, they would get caught right away. So it just wasn't that good. But it was a pretty good pitch game. Lucchesi pitched good, and the Washington Nationals pitched pretty good. So yeah, what ended up happening was, yeah, Edwin Diaz actually giving up the game in the 9th inning. And overall, the Mets bullpen looked pretty good. But then Diaz really coughed it up in the last game right there, and it was just a tough game for the Mets overall. But Edwin Diaz just not has a good ERA. He has a 6.20 ERA with runners, with non-save situations, and in save situations he has over 1 point something ERA. So it's a big drastic change it's a big drastic change in the ERA. Obviously, you can see that Edwin Diaz, it's probably looking like it's a mindset thing with Edwin Diaz. And it's not really a thing of, oh, can he close? You know, because obviously he can close. He has that fastball. He has that slider. It's just overall a mindset thing. So that's how it's really looking. But the Mets fall to game 1 in the series, and it was a 1-0. It was a walk-off win by Yan Gomes, who hit a RBI single. Juan Soto got on base with a walk that looked like a strikeout, but the umpire said it was a walk. And then after that, Ryan Zimmerman got a hit on the opposite field. And then Soto went first to third, and then Yan Gomes hit an RBI single. And that was the game pretty much. Edwin Diaz did not look that bad overall. So in this, I don't think it was really all his fault, but obviously he lost the game and he's 1-2 now. But it just, I don't know, it's the Mets. The Mets are just in a tough position because Seth Lugo pitched in the 8th inning and he couldn't go in the 9th. So yeah, it just didn't work out. Now let's get into Saturday doubleheader, Washington Nationals versus the Mets, obviously. And overall, it was a big doubleheader for the Mets to gain ground again. And they lost game 1. And let's really call this the Francisco Lindor game, because Francisco Lindor in this game just went off. And I'm definitely going to get into it later on. But, oh, man, it was just a big, 2 important real games. And Francisco Lindor really came through. Now, David Peterson, he pitched pretty good. He pitched 4.2 innings with 2 hits allowed and 1 run earned. But overall, David Peterson looked really good in the series. He looked really good in the David Peterson looked really good in the game. He looked like he was confident. He looked like he was pitching good. And I feel like Rojas could have definitely let him pitch probably the 5th inning but he was pitching the 5th inning, but he could have let him pitch and get out of the 5th inning, but it just didn't work out. He ended up going to Loup, and Loup got out the inning. But overall, Peterson had a chance to get a win, and I feel like his confidence is definitely important. He was 2-5. He could have been 3-5, because but Rojas did not just let him get Soto out there. And I mean, Soto wasn't really bad and that great against left-handed pitchers. So I mean, I would have personally let him pitch. I mean, let him pitch, but it just didn't work out. Rojas just he gave him a little chance, but he was like, okay, you're done. Like, and it is what it is, you know. David Peterson, he has been pitching good, so that is something that's great for the Mets overall, because the Mets definitely need him to pitch pretty good with the freaking double headers that we got going on with the Mets. Definitely a tough game for Joe Ross, which was the opposition pitcher for the Washington Nationals. He allowed 5 runs, 6 hits, and they were all to Francisco Lindor. Not all the hits, but the runs. Francisco Lindor hit in the first inning a home run, a 2-run homer because in the first inning, and Jonathan Villar got on base. And Lindor hit a home run, and it was his 7th home run of the season. It was a 2-run homer. So obviously that was a big jolt for the offense, because the offense just looked dead that last game. Then Francisco Lindor hit an RBI single in the 3rd inning and scored David Peterson, who got hit by a pitch and got on base. And yeah, so Francisco right now has 3 RBIs. The game is 3-0. Francisco Lindor does not stop. He does not stop. When he comes up next, guess what he does? He hits another home run, and it was another 2-run homer. And guess what it was again? David Peterson again, because David Peterson doubled before Lindor. So overall, I mean, Lindor had a great game. He hit his 7th and 8th home runs of the season. It was a big game for Lindor, and Lindor is really important to the New York Mets offense. So if you really think about it, Lindor is important to the Mets offense, and he has to do something. He has to keep batting for better average. He's batting, what, 221 now? It's just not working out, you know. But he hit 8 home runs now. So overall, it's not looking like the greatest signing of all time for the New York Mets. But with New York Mets players, sometimes they come up slow and they get better. And hopefully, that's for Lindor. Hopefully that happens for Lindor. But overall, the other offense for the Mets was lifeless. Nobody else was really there. Like, it was just Francisco Lindor hitting those home runs and hitting that RBI single. So it was just a big game. But definitely the Mets ended up winning game 1 5-1. And they're all 5 was Francisco Lindor, you know. So he was definitely the man of the hour. And he definitely has to be important. He definitely has to be the man. Now, definitely, let's get into game 2. A lifeless game. It just looked like the Mets just gave up on the game. Like, they put their B lineup out there. I know it's a doubleheader, but they got Brandon Drury, Peraza. I mean, Peraza has been a regular, but overall, it just did not look good for the Mets. It did not look good at all. Gazelman pitched 2 innings, and he pitched pretty good, you know, for those 2 innings, you know, as an opener, and he only allowed 1 run. But then Sean Ray Foley gave up 5 runs, and it just was not good for the New York Mets. Kyle Schwarber hit his 14th home run of the season. Trey Turner hit a home run, which was his 13th of the season, and Kyle Schwarber hit another home run. So definitely Kyle Schwarber has been on fire. He has been on fire. Like, if you really think about it, like, Kyle Schwarber has just been out of control, hitting home runs out of nowhere. Like, he is a power hitter, but he is just seeing the ball real good right now, and the Mets just got a lot of that in the series. And Kyle Schwarber, he had 2 home runs in this game. Trey Turner hit a home run, and Starlin Castro hit a ground rule double. So the game ended 6-2. And the 2 runs, the way the Mets got the 2 runs with the lifeless offense, again, that I'm saying, I'm sorry, but it's just truth. Jose Peraza hit a 2-run homer because Thomas Nido got on base with a single in the 7th inning, which was the last, because it's 2, you know, the doubleheader only has 7 innings played. So overall, Peraza hit a 2-run homer, and that was the offense right there. And there was a couple of more hits, but James McCann grounded into, I think it was a ground out, and that was the end of the game. So 6-2, pretty bad game for the New York Mets. And hopefully it gets better, but it really doesn't. Let's get into the fourth game of the series, the last game of the series. Very important for the Mets to even get this win, and it just looked bad. The Mets did not look good, and Taijuan Walker, which is he has been good all season. He has a record of 6-2, with a pretty good ERA. He has definitely been the best signing of the free agency for sure. So the Mets got to steal with him, and he has just been great. But he was going against Patrick Corbin, and he was just better. But the offense again was the main problem. The Washington Nationals got 13 hits, and the Mets got 4 hits. Let's call this game the Kyle Schwarber game, because another Kyle Schwarber game, he was really on fire. Kyle Schwarber was on fire. Let's call it the Kyle Schwarber game, because Kyle Schwarber, in the first inning, homered off Walker and hit his 16th home run of the season. 16th home run of the season. He already has so much home runs in this series. Like the other last game of game 2, I just told you, he just had 2 home runs. So let's see what he does with this game. And it just gets even better for Kyle Schwarber and worse for the Mets. But then the Mets get a little offense. And Kevin Pillar hits an opposite field home run, and the Mets tie the game 1-1. So it's tied 1-1, and it's definitely a big game for the Mets to win. And it just did not look so great for the Mets, but at least they tied the game. The Nationals got another run with a Josh Bell RBI single that scored Trey Turner, and Trey Turner stole the base, and he's just a pest when it comes to the base stealing. He really is, and when it comes to the Mets, he always does good against the Mets. And it was overall just a big game for Trey Turner and Kyle Schwarber, because those are the two. The 1 and 2, Kyle Schwarber's the leadoff hitter, Trey Turner's the second hitter, and it was just not good. So now the score is 2-1. Josh Bell hit an RBI single, and then Kyle Schwarber hit his second home run of the season, and it was a 2-run home run, which made the score 3-1, and the Mets just looked bad, But then Pete Alonso in the 7th inning hits a home run and makes it 3-2. So the Mets looked like they were gonna come back in this game. Then Kyle Schwarber again hits another home run, and it's his 18th home run of the season and his 3rd home run of the game. And it just can't get worse for the Mets. Kyle Schwarber just definitely took over. Patrick Corbin pitched pretty good. He allowed 2 runs. It was just a big game for Kyle Schwarber. The Mets lost the game 5-2. So the Nationals take 3 out of 4 from the first place Mets. And it was just a big series for the Nationals to gain ground, and a big series for the Mets to definitely push them back, but it just didn't work out. So the Nationals definitely gained some ground, and I'm definitely going to give you guys the standings, the updated standings, and here they are. So you obviously see the standings right here, and you know that the Mets have to play better, and they have to play better against their division, and they have big games coming up real soon, literally tomorrow. So the Mets, I'm definitely going to do a division series recap of the Braves and the New York Mets. Or I might do a post-game reaction. It's up to y'all. Whatever y'all want me to do in the comments, I'll definitely do that. But definitely, if you enjoyed the video, man, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We are Mets fans. And if you're not a Mets fan, that's okay. I accept you. You know what I'm saying? We can always talk baseball. And like I said, let's go Mets. Hit that subscribe button if you really mess with the video, if you mess with me. And yes, let's go Mets. And let's have a great day, guys. Enjoy your day. Be blessed.